who aren't familiar with what's been happening in terms of crime throughout the Valley, you've been affected, not just one, but both of your businesses.
Two out of three. Fingers crossed that that's the end for us.
So what happened?
Back in April, we got broken into at Willie's in Rancho Mirage, and I thought that that was just an isolated incident. But later in the day, I found out that they had robbed at least 3 locations that particular morning. We got off very lucky because the alarm scared them away, and there was 3 people. They were only in the building for about 2 or 3 minutes. They were looking for big items like safes. Unfortunately, my neighbor, Kobe Restaurant, they were not so lucky. I'm not sure that they had their alarm on, so they had spent some time there and were able to take out the safes from that location. And they actually had the audacity to put the safes in the back of their SUV and park it outside our building while they tried to get into ours. So obviously they were just going from one location to the other early in the morning. And most recently, actually last Tuesday, we got broken into at 1501 by different people. It's my understanding that the people that were doing the Rancho Mirage Palm Desert break-ins were caught. They were actually caught in Vegas, is what I've heard. I don't know all the full details on that yet. But in Palm Springs, we have a series of local burglaries, several different businesses, sandwich shop, a mail store, 1501, and another restaurant that I know of, all by the same individual who actually has spent some time. I believe he probably cases the joints first because he's very particular on what he does. He looks for small windows that he can take out the glass without breaking the glass, obviously without setting off any sensors. He watches the building to see if there's any police activity after he does his first, he does it throughout steps. At our particular location, it wasn't until the next morning when we watched video cameras that we saw that he arrived at about 12:30 at night, then did what he needed to do for the glass removal, went away for about an hour, saw that there was no police activity, came back in, crawled in through the glass, stayed on the ground very low so that motion detectors wouldn't catch him. Then at our building, he actually left whatever he took. He didn't take very much. Whatever he took, he left at the back of the building and came back at 3:30 in the morning to pick it up. So he was definitely planning his attack.
So he came back basically after leaving.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I got woken up at 1:30 by the alarm company in the police department. So I really wanted to just go back to bed. Hindsight now, had I looked at the video camera, then I would have seen that he had left whatever he'd stolen right at the back of the building, and I could have retrieved that myself. I didn't expect for him to leave it there and then come back later later that day and pick it up.
Well, let me ask you, as a business owner, how disheartening is this for you? And is this more compared to what you've seen before?
I've never seen anything like this before. And in fact, I've been in business in Palm Springs for 849 has been open for the last 8 years, sorry, almost 8 years. Before that, I was in business in other restaurants or involved in other restaurants for the last 20 plus years. I've never seen anything like this before. People are definitely getting desperate. This guy in particular is, he's definitely done this before. He's obviously made a career of this. It's very disheartening. Actually, just moments ago, I was at my house adding some more motion detectors and some more security there, because if this is where we're heading, then the only message that I have for everyone is we need to do whatever we can to be vigilant, make sure you have your alarm on, and do whatever you can to secure your property.
Well, you basically answered my next question. So then where do you go from here?
That said, do whatever you can. My only regret is that I didn't look at the video cameras right away. Obviously, we don't have video cameras in our home. This guy is definitely targeting businesses. He very craftily moves around the floor. The most recent place that he got into, he actually used a skateboard. So he's walking around the streets with a skateboard, possibly a skateboard, a backpack. Somebody's going to see him. Somebody's going to catch him. Everyone just needs to be a little more vigilant than normal. I remember the days when I moved to Palm Springs and we could leave our doors open and not worry about this, but I guess those days are over, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Anything else, Willie, you'd like to say before we let you go?
Thank you for covering this and making people aware that, again, together we can make a difference and hopefully catch this person.
Hopefully. Willie, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.